This is a basic smart home sensor, and all it does is it senses motion and runs an automation. And that's it. This right here is an upcoming presence detector. So it also has a motion sensor, but it does a lot of other things. Like it's got a mmWave sensor, it's got temperature sensor, it's got a light sensor, it's got a PIR sensor, it's got a lot of things. So this is the RoomSense sensor. It's not out yet, but what it will have that's extremely helpful is that it's open source, runs on Home Assistant, super easy to configure, and it's really accurate. So why would someone want this instead of that? So as I said earlier, this one, which is just the Aqara motion sensor, just senses motion. So if you walk into a room, the lights turn on, and if you walk out of the room and it doesn't sense motion for a long time, I don't know, whatever you want, let's say 5 minutes, it will turn off. Problem is, when I'm walking out of the room, it will sense motion and re-trigger that 5 minutes. And sometimes I can be in a room and it doesn't sense the motion because all I'm doing is typing on a keyboard or just breathing, and I'm being very, very still. That's where this guy comes in. This guy is extremely accurate. Like, I can breathe and it will tell that I'm breathing. That's a combination of the presence detector and the mmWave radar sensors. And see that orange light is orange right now? It's detecting my presence is here. And as long as that is detecting, my lights will stay on. And this is incredibly accurate. Once I got the settings fine-tuned, it's been working incredibly well. So all I have to do is walk out of the room. It will wait about 30 seconds. And once it doesn't detect motion or my presence for 30 seconds, the lights turn off. When I walk in, it detects my presence and it will turn on the lights. And I haven't had any false triggers. Like, definitely had to deal with some settings. But once I dialed them in, it has been flawless. So as I said, this is a prototype. So this is not what the final design will look like. This is just kind of a 3D printed shell. It's got USB Type-C and it goes to USB Type-C, got a super long cable. I don't have it sticky yet because I'm not sure exactly where I want to put it. But so that's why it's just hanging on this picture, and it's actually doing really well. I might just mount it right here. They came with all the attachments to help connect it to the wall. But inside, let's just see my screen right here. Here's a brief demo of their website. And yeah, you can go to RoomSense or roomsenselabs.com and you can just see everything that it has to offer. So PIR sensor, mmWave radar. It's got a temperature sensor. It's got a light sensor. There's a lot of things you can do with this device. So the device that this is kind of compared to is the Aqara RoomSense or presence detector. What this one has that the Aqara one doesn't is that it's open source and it runs directly on Home Assistant. So if you are more of an open source community and you want to dial in your own settings and modify it however you want, you can. And it might actually come in cheaper. So it hasn't come out the price yet. But I have been told that it is probably, they're aiming to get it cheaper than Aqara's. So that's always a good thing. That's about it. I love it. There's a ton of automations that you can run with this. A lot of this will be presence detection. So you could put it in your living room. I have this in my office right here. And I just have it where I walk in, the lights turn on, I walk out, the lights turn off. And it saves me a lot of electricity because I don't have to just have my lights on a timer. Like when this stops detecting motion or presence for, I think 30 seconds, because sometimes I'll just be sitting so still or I'll be in a corner of the room where it doesn't detect me anymore. That's why I give it like 30 seconds of time where it has to be off, not detecting my presence for like 30 seconds. If you want to learn more about the RoomSense IQ, they do have an email list that you can sign up for, and that will give you all the information that you need about software updates, pricing, when it's going to be available, and everything. So there'll be an email list in my bio down below, so feel free to sign up for that for free, and I'll see you in the next video.